on the quality of life in an HOA on a golf course. What you're going to deal with, I don't think a lot of you people like me, you're all starry-eyed when you saw it the first time. You went, oh my God, I can have this? All I have to do is put my name on that signature and come up with some money? Yeah. But let me tell you what you're going to get. And like I said, this is a follow-up to the video yesterday. I'm going to try to describe to the people in YouTube land what living on a golf course in a state that thinks that golf is their #1 industry. It's unregulated. Golf and HOAs are the two biggest industries probably in Arizona, and they are completely unregulated. Okay? They can do what they want. They're completely outside of the law. Okay? Now, I'm going to continue talking as we take a little tour around my house, and I give you the history of what I did here and some of the events, what I'm going to call it gamesmanship from the HOA, the town of Buckeye, everybody else that's involved with running this organization. I'm going to go stand right now on my property line. I'm going to put this on YouTube later. But what you're looking at, that green box right there, we'll zoom in on it if I can. See that green box? Many, many times and many, many mornings, that green box, that's the tee. That's our left-hand side of the tee. Many, many mornings, it's all the way back and all the way over there. Now, this is my property line. This is my property. You see that white stake right there? The golf course is telling every golfer that tees up from any one of those tee boxes out there. This one, the monster, I call it the monster, because I watched them build that in about 2 hours. They brought in a lot of dirt and they brought in a land mover, and they just had it built in like 2 hours one morning. And what that did is add about 20 yards. It added about 20 yards to that tee. Now, young Jethros, I call them Jethros, well, young aspiring golfers that are strong and in their 20s and 30s and have the best equipment and the best shaft and pride themselves as always being the longest driver. They don't pride themselves in shooting par. If they pride themselves in shooting par, from what I've seen from talent here, they'd be starting out at the executive tees. Okay? I bet you if you gave any one of those golfers today that's going to hit from back there, if you said, I'll pay for your round and all the other rounds for the next few days for you here, if you can shoot a par round, pick the tees. Pick the tees. And if they went from here, your money's safe. Half the golfers that are playing from there couldn't shoot a par round from the executive tees on this course. They got no short game. They don't know how to play small ball. They're all designated hitters. And here's the choice that the golf course has given these grip and rippers, country boy grip and rippers. It's like, we're going to let you make the ultimate home run shot. We're going to put you up on that elevated tee. And your choice is now to either hit the green or have a second shot. Now, about 75 feet, 80 feet away down there is what their target should be. That's the fairway. That should be their target. But they want to hit a home run. So they're not worrying about this target. So they go back and they go, we're going to grip and rip because we know, and I want to show you, see that other white stake? They've got my role in this community as a member of the Sundance Active Adult and a neighbor of the golf course. My my duties, what is expected of me is to be the backboard for people who don't want to play the real course. Now, this is a skill sport. It's target golf. If you had these white stakes about 10 feet from your cart path, right before they start up the hill, if the white stakes were there, and every time they knew if they missed the fairway and went 10 feet past the thing, that they had a penalty shot. Okay? This is user-friendly golf at my expense. I have to put up with this day in, day out. One of the capital things that gripes me is players who play more than one ball from back there. I have to sit sometimes and watch a foursome hit 9 or 12 balls. I'm serious. They're running back to their cart, they're getting more balls, they haven't got a snowball's chance. They're trying to either hit a home run or put it up here, right? Blunderbuss, scattergun approach. We got all that landing area up there. We can just rip and rip. If we don't put it in the lake, or we don't hit the green on this shot from 175 yards away, we've got all that landing area up there. And they've made it so that I can walk down that property line. They've made it user-friendly that I have the ability, the right, the entree to walk down this property line anytime I want and look into these yards. This is what some people do. Some golfers, they play to walk down this. I'll send you a video. I made one up about a month ago. I saw that I had the camera out here and this guy was aiming right for me. He wasn't aiming for the green over there. He was aiming for me. You could see he was aiming up here. And he hit the ball. And then later in the video you see him, he's right there. He walked up here. He hits it up here on purpose, and then he walks up here and he's going to walk down these property lines like it's a banquet table of golf balls. And sometimes it is. Once in a while you get golfers that hit balls up here who are honest and respect the property. And they don't come up here. And the wolves, the golf wolves, the golf ball freaks, to think that these yards are their playground, that every time they buy a greens fee, it's a patio pass to walk. Look at that patio right there. It's more or less empty. A lot of these patios, people are starting to leave now. They're covering up the furniture. They're bringing the furniture in and putting in the patios are empty. So in July and August, if somebody lofts one up here, okay, they're going to think nothing, and nobody's going to say anything to them if they walk onto somebody's patio and get their ball. And the reason they're walking on their people's patio is they're not focused on trying to hit green. Their focus is either put it on the green or bail out right. Bail out right. Here we go. Now, the reason I'm a little wound up or something like that, I've seen several articles now, and yesterday Yahoo Sports was filled with this article of the $5 million settlement that this couple got back in Massachusetts for constantly being bombarded with golf balls. This is the exact same situation. If I had their lawyer and their money and wanted to take that kind of a chance, I'm sure I could get that here. I put gutters on that house, and a week after I put gutters on this house, right? A week after I put gutters on that house, you see that dent right there? That's a golf ball dent. Okay? Here's another thing. See this window right here? That was taken out by a golfer. And you go, how is it taken out? Well, that was about 10 years ago when that tree was a baby. And that tee box way off in the distance, that monster I told you, one of the guys that worked in the golf shop named Ryan, tall guy, my age, right? Tall guy, used to work across or behind the counter. From that forward tee on that plateau out there one morning, he hit a curveball so bad it took out that window right there. Now the tree is there, and I probably couldn't do it today. The tree would probably stop it, but that tree was a baby when it happened. And the lady who was living in this house at the time was in the kitchen. She said it sounded like a gunshot going off. This guy hit the ultimate slice. He was a big, strong, strapping, tall guy. He probably got tremendous club head speed. Well, at impact, he hit a curveball, a huge one. And it curved around and it took out that window. She immediately came over and handed me the ball because I live right there. She immediately came over, knocked on my door, gave me the ball, and she goes, "This sounded like a gunshot when it hit." So I take the ball and I run down here to where the cart path is, and this guy is just going by, quietly, stealthily going by, not looking. Well, he met me out here. I met him with the golf ball. I said, "You hit this?" "Yeah." "You gonna pay for it?" "You just busted my window, dude." And he was a visible guy. He wasn't a stranger. This is Ryan from the golf shop. The guy that takes money from me all the time when I want to go in and play golf. Okay? So he said, "Well, find out how much it is and I'll pay for it." Yeah, okay. Well, I went to downtown Buckeye to the glass place, and any window that you replace, it's all labor. It's all labor. It's $125 for the piece of glass and $500 for the labor. Okay, because they have to come out. Whoever you ordered a window from, they're not going to take your word. They have to make a special trip to measure the window. That is about $125, $150 plus the window, plus the labor to put it in. Okay, so when I got the bill, the guy gave me the estimate, the bill. I took it into the golf shop. It was like almost $400. Almost $400 for a little window like that. He hit the ceiling. "Oh, this is highway robbery and stuff like that, you know." But he paid for it. He did come up with the money and pay for it. But he didn't like it. And if he was a stranger, or I hadn't been home, or she hadn't have been home, he would have drove by. Or a lot of these golfers, honest, here's a story from 2 weeks ago for Andy, the quality of life people at HOA. You don't have a quality of life committee. You should have one. See what quality of life is living on a golf course. Well, this is a quality of life issue. This was about 3 weeks ago when you had a whole bunch of country club types here, what I call white privilege, okay? You don't see much color out here on this course. But anyway, I'm in the house. It's probably around noon on a Saturday or Sunday. It was a weekend. You had the weekend crowd in here. What happened was, I heard a golf ball hit the house. It could have hit that house. It could have hit that house. They're getting hit all the time. They get hit all the time. Those houses, they're hitting all the time. All the time. They're all getting hit. And I wasn't dressed. I didn't have my shoes on. I was in pajamas. So I said, I'll go out and find that in 5 minutes, couple minutes. I'll go out and find that golf ball. I'll go get dressed. So I went in, got dressed, put some pants on, shoes. When I got to the kitchen door right there, I saw a man that was walking from that house back across right here. He was right here. He had come diagonally across my lot, went and got up on the patio, got the ball, grabbed the ball, and was walking back off the course. Now, this guy, if a policeman was ever to pull him over, he'd think, this guy is Joe Cool. He's Joe American. He's well dressed. He looks well mannered. He looks intelligent. He's white. Wouldn't say shit if he had a mouthful. Well, I got to challenge that guy just as he was stepping over my property. And he was standing, you see where that stick is? He was standing right there. When I approached him, I go, what the hell are you doing? What give you permission to walk onto my property? He goes, oh, I was getting the ball. He was stunned. You want to talk about willful ignorance? This is willful ignorance. This guy stood there. He was about 70 years old, 70 in his 70s, well dressed, a real country club type. Okay. Well, the next thing I know, I'm looking at a guy that's about 30 years younger than me, probably his son, who's standing. Now I'm looking at him, and this guy is a lot more formidable looking that I got to deal with than the older gentleman. And the kid comes up and he goes, I hit that golf ball. I hit that golf ball. He said, and if you have any damages, I'll make good on them if I have to. More or less, that's what he said. I said one thing to him. Move up. Move up. You haven't got the game. You haven't got the game. You're not playing. Nobody here plays for par. Now, this article in the, this article that made it into Yahoo about the couple who won a $5 million settlement, they went on this for years and years. My role with this house, everybody talks your house is the biggest investment you ever made in your life. That is. I got a lot of money and time tied up. I got a lot of money and tied up in this house. And when somebody breaks a solar panel, you see that solar panel off in the distance right there? That used to be my house. That's a golf ball broke that solar panel. That's a $700 replacement. And everybody, and when I put stuff online and I got idiots still, well, it's under warranty. No, it isn't. I had that put on like about 11, 12 years ago. If I were to call that company up right now, it isn't there. None of the people are there. Okay? Flash in the pan company, they're not going to guarantee anything. It's working. The next golf ball that hits that thing, we'll probably put it out of service. But it isn't mine anymore. But that's what I'm dealing with. If I had the money and a lawyer, except that I'm not in Massachusetts. I'm in Arizona. Arizona people, they look at me like you're a troublemaker. You should be willing to have broken windows. You should be willing to have people walking on your patio. You should be willing to have the knowledge that if you throw a party out here with a picnic table full of people and a whole bunch of chairs, that at any time a mortar shell can come in from 177 yards away, 177 to the green, about 120 for me. From about 120, 140 yards away, they can drop a mortar in here anytime they want. All you got to do is get an overambitious gorilla back there who's playing grip and rip. Like I said, everybody that plays back there, give them a challenge. We'll give you a free round of golf if you play the executive tees today and you can bring in a scratch round. It'll never happen. I watched these kids get up there and blast. They put 3 or 4 in the lake and 3 or 4 up here. And when they finally get one down there, all they have to do is pitch it up about 25 yards to the pin. Takes them 4 shots to get in the hole, 4 or 5 shots. They got no short game. They all want to be designated hitters. They don't want to learn how to butt. They don't want to learn how to take signs. They don't want to learn. They got one purpose, to hit a home run. Either hit a home run or land in that huge foul ball territory. They know we're not, until we hit those white stakes right there, that one, and that one right there at the end there, we're not a foul ball. And look at all this open area. We got from here to the patio, from there to the patio, from there to that patio, all this open area that if anybody leaves the golf ball up here, we'll get up here and get it. All right? I'm going to go and put this on YouTube, but this is a response. I've been living with this for 15 years now. And not only am I getting it from that tee, I'm getting it from the 5th fairway. I've had windows broken on the front side of the house. Not only do I get windows broken on this side and things broken, but on the front side, they come in from the 5th fairway. And one last gem of wisdom for anybody, any underwriters, any insurance people, anybody that has compassion. That right there where that tee box is and that green, for all the balls I get up here in my yard, and I get a lot of them, that area right there gets more bad second shots from the 5th fairway over there than I get in my yard. It's day after day. You'll have foursomes there, and all of a sudden somebody four and everybody ducks. The next thing you know, a guy comes from the 5th fairway and plays a shot off that tee to the 5th green. Okay? Little gem of wisdom. I pray every day that nobody gets hit by a golf ball from the 5th fairway. Okay? When I see a crowd, when you've got 4 golf carts and 8 golfers, because you've got a bunch of guys that spent a half an hour on the tee hitting 12 balls. They scattered balls all over. Now they're up here looking for their balls. They're in the lake looking for their balls. If they went past the green, they're back there in no man's land looking for their balls. They're stinking up the place because they all hit 3 and 4 balls apiece. Not one of them had the game to hit it. And now they get up here and they finally, after collecting all their balls, all 4 of them, and they've got the caravan waiting behind them. There's a caravan. When they hit that tee box, that whole hole was open. And 5 was open. 4 and 5 was open when they hit the tee box. By the time they got off the green, they had 3 groups waiting for them. Okay? I see this go on day and day. I got tired of playing here because I got sick of waiting on tee boxes. This is one of the slowest playing courses in the valley. It's one of the slowest places in the valley because this grip and rip attitude. We can hit as many balls as we want. This is a practice round. We don't care about par. We want to go into the clubhouse today and say that we hit the longest drive on every hole. We were the longest driver. Really? What'd you shoot? Did you count? When did you quit counting? At the 5th hole when you were up around 30, 70, 80, whatever? Hitting as many balls as you can? Like shooting this, using this as a playground. It's not a golf course. It's a business. It's a concession. It has a cash register. You're responsible. This is fallout, pollution, air pollution. I don't dare, when the kids come over, if I have anybody come over to visit anybody, a lot of them are very aware. The first thing they come out, some people get it. They go, Jesus, we're right here, exposed. Do you ever get golf? I say all the time. Now, those people get it. There are other people that come out here, they don't get it. Right? A lot of people don't get it. And the number 1 person that doesn't get it is this golf concession. We've been doing this. We were here first. You bought a house on a golf course. You have to deal with our rules. Okay? Our rules are we're going to put those white stakes right on your property line. Right there. I'm going to walk down. And right down there. Right? This used to be both of these properties, and the other one used to be all mine. All right? I had broken windows, scars all over the house, all the time. And every time you call the clubhouse and go, you broke my window, they go, you bought a house on a golf course. You bought a house on a golf course. Andy was with a golfer one day to hit my house. I heard the house get hit. I came out, and Andy was up by the green, and the guy was going by, And he goes, I'm sorry I hit your house. And he was in Andy's group, so Andy witnessed it. So I got a video out there of me telling Andy about this, and the first thing out of Andy's mouth was, yeah, I was there, I saw it, it was an accident. It was an accident. He didn't mean to do it. And that's the first thing a cop will tell you. I've called policemen. And the policeman, the first thing he comes out, he's got this training, this mantra. They tell him, tell this first. Before they even complain or it starts writing anything, let them know, let the person know, the neighbor know, the member know that it was an accident and the golfer didn't intend it. Well, of course he didn't intend it. He intended to hit a hole-in-one back there. That was his intent. But he didn't have the game in the bag to do it. All right, let's clean this up. This is like boxing in the 40s and 50s. It's dirty. This is dirty. All right, I'm being burdened with being the fallout area. Interdiction and harassment fire. I said it in other videos. It's interdiction and harassment fire. All right, I can't get away from this. All right, if it was Vietnam, it'd be Con Tien, where the Marines had smaller guns than the North Vietnamese. I can't fire back here. The only way I can fire back and create any kind of movement, inertia, trying to move the wall, move the pile. The pile right now doesn't want to change this. We know what we're doing to you. We know you can't sit out there. We know. And those two trees, one last little tidbit, those trees right here haven't been touched in about 3 years.